So I purchased this van. I paid cash for this van. I think $1,300 I paid for it, which I think was a pretty good price to get it for. Right. This is a 1999 van, and I don't know how much you can see. You see my curtains,
Oh yeah.
right? So this was pretty much. I bought this van because I knew eventually I would need to move into it. So here's the idea. I am a renter. I still am a renter. I'm on a month to month. I'm actually in a situation where I could be evicted as well, right? So I have this house with a big mortgage. People aren't paying the rent. The mortgage has to get paid, and that's cash, right? You can put stuff on credit card. You can't put your mortgage on credit card. You have to have the actual cash to pay it, right? So the situation ended up in is I need to make it's weird. Almost forced into almost like a capitalist mindset where I needed to make money from everything that could make money. I couldn't afford to throw money away. So my apartment has value, even though I'm not actually allowed to do anything with it because I don't own that property, right? But my apartment has value. I'm paying, good money for it every month. So I can't afford to be there because this is something that has value. And even though I'm not allowed to really, it has the potential to make money. So what I did is I pretty much put my apartment up on, I'm sure you know about Airbnb. Yeah. So I put it up for Airbnb so that I could, basically make a little bit of money. I think I only made like $300 a month from it in terms of profit. So that helps a little bit. I mean, the mortgage is much more than that. So $300 doesn't really do much, but it all adds up, right? But I couldn't afford to be living in this apartment. You know what I mean? When I could actually use it to generate revenue. So I ended up giving that apartment up, and then I basically moved into my van. And the day that I moved in was like the coldest day of the year. It was like 12 degrees outside. But I got a 0 degree we call it a bag, sleeping bag, which that was all a learning experience, man. I never knew this. Like you could be out in 10-degree weather and just be in this sleeping bag and you're fine. But yeah, I guess if there's enough insulation or whatever, because I did that. I was out here 12 degrees and I was actually fine as far as temperature with no heating in here at all, just a sleeping bag. But yeah, I mean, and it's a mess. I don't know how much you can see here. Like this is real life. Like this is not some YouTube thing and you get everything all neat or whatever. Like with all the chaos, I don't have time to worry about like aesthetics and whatever. Like things are just like thrown everywhere. But one of the most gross things that and I'm sorry to share this with you. It's kind of gross, but I needed to figure out plumbing, right? In terms of like a bathroom. Didn't have the money to like address that in a more civilized way. So I use a bucket, right? So a guy who in this country has enough money to buy a big 4-family house is using a bucket. And the things that I'm learning, right? So I learned online that apparently that, people that have horses, I don't know if you know anything about farm stuff. Like I don't have any horse background, but I guess they use these pellets to like cover up the odor of like the cow mess or whatever. I mean cow mess, horse, right? Right. So somebody mentioned this online because I've been looking at a lot of this RV life or van life stuff, and they were like, this works great. And you know what? It actually does. So I've got my bucket, and it's like almost like conservatives love this part. It's like a litter box situation. You know what I mean? And I have a whole system that I use, and I make it work. But it's just kind of, at 46 years old, I work so hard. I've been through so much, and for me to be, using a bucket, you know what I mean? Like it's just like. But meanwhile, these people are living in my house, best part of town, don't have to work, everything's paid for, and they got all the heat and everything, and plumbing, and if any of that stuff breaks, guess who got to fix it? Guess who's got to buy the money?